But I do have issues with the current government of New Brunswick, not just their desire to scrap the fight against climate change by eliminating the price on pollution and the checks that land in Canadians' pockets, but also on the issue of making sure that we're not further vulnerabilizing our most vulnerable kids. I trust parents, I trust schools, and I don't think we should be trying to score political points off of kids who are incredibly vulnerable, who shouldn't be targeted by political parties wanting to get elected or re-elected. And that goes right across the country. I also will continue to stand against Blaine Higgs' government for not respecting women's rights to choose. It is on the government of New Brunswick to demonstrate that they are going to be there to protect women's rights right across the province. The shutting down of health and reproductive services offered by Clinic 554, the unwillingness to engage in allowing women to actually choose what happens to their future and their bodies is a disgrace. And I will continue to call out the government of New Brunswick and any Conservative leader across the country who continues to go after women's rights. Indeed, we're seeing what happened in the United States with the reversal of Roe versus Wade. Well, Roe versus Wade happened 15 years before anything happened in Canada in terms of the Supreme Court decision. So we know that it's not that Roe versus Wade couldn't happen in Canada. It's that it's more likely to happen in Canada, particularly with Conservative leaders who continue to not stand up for women's rights.
You know, my friend Lise Merle said to me the other day, never trust a man who wants you to be less fertile. Never. And she's a mother of 6 kids. Look how animated and excited Justin Trudeau is at the prospect of aborting babies. Like, he's very excited about it. He's very aggressive about it. Usually he's disappointed and he laments everybody for disagreeing with him, and he's sort of scolding and somber, but he gets really worked up at the prospect of fewer babies being born alive in New Brunswick. Calls it a disgrace. Look, in New Brunswick, the taxpayer just doesn't want to pay for your reproductive choices. I love how they call it reproductive health, but it's actually anti-reproduction, right? Like that's the whole point of it. But I think the splitting the difference here is okay. It's not illegal here in Canada, but maybe we just don't want to pay for it. That's probably the most a reasonable way to do it if you are trying to make everybody less angry with you but not happy. You know what I mean? Which is sort of the sweet spot if you're a politician. Blaine Higgs is popular. He has the support of the electorate there, and he has taken a strong stance on parental rights, as in you don't get to indoctrinate kids in the classroom with your transgender sexual ideology nonsense. Just don't talk to my kids about it. And so he's taken a firm stance on that, as has Saskatchewan, as has Alberta. The way it should be, these are discussions between parents and kids through the ideological worldview of the parent that they want to instill in their children. You know, might I suggest to the other side of this, maybe they don't follow Justin Trudeau's advice to terminate their offspring in the womb. If you want to proliferate your ideology, maybe do what I did. Had 3 kids you could talk to about life every single day. Do what my friend Lise Merle did. Have 6 of them. Then you have an army of 6 people with your worldview out there. No, the left, because they're self-sterilizing weirdos who see children as a plague upon the face of the earth and as just little like little carbon budgets running around. So they have to, like zombies, bite your kids to infect them with their ideology because they don't have any of their own. So you know what? Maybe don't listen to Justin Trudeau, lefties. Have your own kids. Raise your own kids. Pay for your own kids. Then you can teach them whatever the heck you feel like. right? Let's split the difference there too. I'll teach my kids what I want, you teach your kids what you want, and leave the education system to teach math and science and grammar, if you don't mind. However, Justin Trudeau, he keeps attacking social conservatives. And it's not even about social conservatives anymore. It's just about people who want to live their lives unmolested by the state and hold a different worldview than Justin Trudeau. He's basically making it illegal to disagree with him at this point in Canada with all of his censorship legislation. If you believe that life begins at conception or ends at natural death, or maybe you just think that maybe we don't need to be talking to little kids about these things uh, outside of their parents' wishes, well, then you are, as Justin Trudeau calls it, a disgrace. Let's see what the voters have to say about Justin Trudeau attacking religious people and social conservatives and people who just think that it is their job to teach their kids about life and not some blue-haired childless marm. Polling Canada. This week's Nanos Research poll modeled conservatives, if the election were held today, 212 seats out of 338. Dropped 93. Conservatives down 102. The Bloc up 48. The NDP down 2. The more progressive you get, the worse you do. The tide is turning. These people have overplayed their hand. And I just can't get enough of it. I hope they never shut up. I hope Justin Trudeau goes to Saskatchewan now and holds a similar press conference. I do. I really do. I hope he comes to Alberta and does it again. Hold a press conference. Attack us on parental rights. Attack religious people and social conservatives. Why? Because Justin Trudeau is too stupid to realize that it is not just evangelical Christians and prickly Catholics like me who don't like him telling us how to raise our children and to have fewer children. It's new Canadians, people he's traditionally relied on to vote for him. So actually, I hope he goes to Toronto and makes the same speech, because Toronto is Canada's most diverse city. Lots of minorities there. And minorities, especially new Canadians, you better believe they're social conservatives. And so you don't even have to do these speeches attacking the religious people in places that already vote conservative. We're not going to vote for Justin Trudeau anyway. Go to Surrey and say this stuff, Justin Trudeau. Go to Burnaby and say it. See where that gets you, big guy. Let's keep going. British Columbia polling. As I was saying, go to Surrey and say this stuff, Justin Trudeau. I can't wait. British Columbia polling. Conservatives, 38%. That's up 36 seats. NDP, 37%, down 11. The BC United, so that's like so these are the provincial numbers, just so you know. So BC United, they're at 13%. So Conservatives surging. Why? The appeal with new Canadians. Polling Canada. Pierre Poilievre's net favorables among all, down 12. Evangelical Christians, up 46. Hindus, up 15. Why? They don't like indoctrination of their kids any more than I do. Down 37%. Among Muslims, down 18. Among atheists, down 27. Jews, 28%. That number still seems a little high for me. Sikhs, down 37. Religious unaffiliated, 37%. Catholics, my people, down 37. Mainline Protestants, down 40. Hindus, down 42%. Evangelical Christians, down 69%. That's Angus Reid polling.